Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Secular Talk is the name of the channel. Still on the Epstein list, the Epstein files. What's come out? What's gone on? Yeah, a lot. To be honest, a lot. We've got talk of sacrifice, murder, rape, fucking you name it. We've got it in here. We've got it in here. So, um, not even that. It's like there's political and geopolitical. Basically, Epstein was kind of the main man. It seems like it really does seem like Epstein was the main man. He's also probably still alive, and there's some good footage and a good picture of a man with a beard in Israel that looks a lot like Epstein. To be fair, I don't know if you've seen a couple of videos doing the rounds. I'll try and find one on here at the end and show you the picture. So a lot's going on, a lot's gone on. People are still digging and digging and digging. So I just thought I'd play a bit of this video. It's an hour long, but I just thought it was quite interesting. Again, he was bang on, to be honest. He was absolutely bang on with everything he says. So, yeah, let's have a listen to what more's been discovered here in the Epstein files.
Everybody out there is having a great day. These Epstein files are absolutely bananas. They are crazy. However bad you think they are, think again, because they're worse. There's no way around it. So this is, without a doubt, a cabal of pedophile billionaire elites who run the world. But many of them are also into bestiality. Many of them are also into torture. They're into cannibalism. I've never been more certain in my entire life that extreme wealth rots your soul. It kills your morality. It kills your ethics. It rots your soul. So sit back, relax, buckle up. We're going to go through all of it. And you are going to need to use that little Men in Black flashy thingy to erase your memory by the time we're done with this. So let's.
Yeah, I mean, in complete honesty, I didn't think we'd ever get as much as we've got here. And I fail to see how. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know what the mainstream media's putting out there and tell what they're telling the people here, but yeah, this is cannibalism, Satanism, fucking child rape, trafficking, fucking murder, torture, you name it. Everything is in here, everything. And again, like you said there, basically, once you've got £1 billion in this world, you seem to lose your soul and become an absolute evil, sick bastard. Seems to be the way of things out here. So money corrupts, absolute money corrupts, absolutely. So yeah, again, everything's in here, literally everything: murder, sacrifice, torture, Satanism, child trafficking, paedophilia, you name it, it's in these files. Again, and the majority of it, to be honest, is, if not proved, there's good evidence to suggest it's taken place. And a lot of these things are mentioned in actual emails between people, torture and this kind of thing. It's actually mentioned in emails to people. Or did you like the torture video? So yeah, they're all bang to rights. To be honest, I said in a previous video, absolutely every single one of them, of the global elite, is bang to rights. They're all Satanist fucking weirdos. Again, what those conspiracy theorists have kind of been saying for 20 odd years here. It's all pretty much been proved true in the Epstein files. And again, a lot of emails between them are proving this. There's tortures in emails. There's even an email from a Rothschild where there's on about a hunting trip, and it kind of alludes to they've been hunting humans. So there's a lot in this, like there really is, and if you haven't been paying attention, you really should, because this brings them all down. If the world kind of knows about this, they're all kind of finished. They really are. Even Donald Trump especially. It's now Donald Trump has been mentioned over 38,000 times in this drop of the Epstein files. 38,000 times. Some people have been saying, and it's true, I believe. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files more than Jesus is in the Bible. And people are joking around with that statement, but I do actually think it's true that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files more than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. So they're all fucked, really. Like they're all again. There must be something big coming in the world. Like I mean, big, like economic collapse, world war. Because they've dropped files here that's put every single one of them under the bus. So in order to get out of this, we're going to need some major distraction, unfortunately, and that major distraction could be a real big affair, to be honest. I mean, we've got the Super Bowl tomorrow, the Super Bowl final. There's predictions, and again, this, as I mentioned with the song "Bye Bye Miss American Pie," American football is mentioned significantly in that song. So again, it could be just wrong because it's now we're looking at a World Cup game, but it's a big football game of sorts. But the Super Bowl is tomorrow, so there is people predicting that something might happen tomorrow on the day of the Super Bowl or at the Super Bowl. Could be a possible attack of Iran. That's a possibility. Maybe Iran will get blown to shit tomorrow. That could be another thing. But the Super Bowl is tomorrow. There will be some sort of ritualistic fucking thing played out at the Super Bowl, no doubt, as there often is. Some sort of fertility ritual of sorts. Or, again, the other option is it might get blown up, is what people are suggesting. We'll wait till tomorrow and see what happens. So, there's a lot going on, to be honest. There's a lot going on. Especially with these files dropping, but then everything else in the background. But these files are absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, some of the stuff we've got in here. So we'll crack on a little bit more of this.
Let's start here. In the new Epstein files leak, we have heavy illegal redactions protecting the perpetrators. So this is now the second time that that's happened. It's on purpose. This is totally in contravention of the law. They don't care. There's also doxing of Epstein victims again. Supposedly an accident, but this is now the second time that that's happened as well. You have incriminating documents on Trump posted and then pulled down and then reposted, apparently, when they realized the cat was out of the bag. You have Epstein discussing Trump raping underage girls at his house. You have Elon visiting Epstein Island. You have Bill Gates getting STDs from Russian girls. We have allegations of sex trafficking and auctioning underage kids at Mar-a-Lago. We have Melania's close relationship with Ghislaine exposed. Nobody knew how close they were until this new round of leaks. And you have the Trump pick for Fed chair exposed in the Epstein files as well. So many people, it's like 30 people or something like that in the Trump regime are in the Epstein files and have ties to Epstein, which, you know, leads to very disturbing questions about the nature of power in our country. We also have this.
There we go. 5,300 files containing over 38,000 references to Donald Trump. Yeah, and you've got Donald Trump on the mainstream news there. I have seen that. Saying that the Epstein files fucking clear his name and all this fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And again, this is what I mean by the general public. Like, according to the news and Trump's innocent. You know what I mean? Trump's not in the Epstein files here 38,000 times. And many mentions of raping children, to be honest. There's even reports from children that they were raped by Donald Trump. I mean, and again, for me, when these were reported as well, so if the date on the report was before sort of 2020, maybe in that region, or 19 when he died, before this come real big news, I think all of them have got a lot of credibility from back in the past, to be honest, before this was sort of big news, and you could have clout chasers, obviously, but I don't think a lot of that is the crack here. I really don't. I believe all these people are telling the truth, because there's that many of them with very, very similar stories. Again, the woman who with Prince Andrew, who's now dead, I mean, that's very suspicious for me as well. I mean, She was a multi millionaire. She got £11 million off Prince Andrew. She had money off Maxwell and Epstein as well. For me, it's very suspicious as that woman is dead. I mean, there's a bit of a battle going on for the money, I believe, as well, with possibly, I'm not sure, but it's been left to her kids or something. I don't know. There's something going on with the money there anyway. But I think that's very suspicious for me as well. That the fact that she apparently, I don't know how she died, but again, it's just very suspicious. Why, like that woman? I know she's been through a lot, but ultimately she was getting over it. She got that money. She was getting justice. I think she would have personally. She was trying to get this sorted. You know what I mean? And I would have pretty much imagined. Well, she was getting somewhere. Do you know what I mean? She was getting somewhere. So again, I just think it's very suspicious for who she was and what she do. And then, lo and behold, she's dead. As more and more of this keeps coming out, and ultimately kind of proves she was telling the truth. You know what I mean? She was telling the truth, and she maybe learned a lot more that she hadn't said. I don't know, but so yeah, the 38,000 times Donald Trump's mentioned. You know what I mean? Like, and he's going to try and claim that he's not in the Epstein files here. Trump isn't in the Epstein files. He's in them 38. He's the person in them the most. You know what I mean? Other than Epstein, Trump's second. Unbelievable.
There are more than 5,300 files containing over 38,000 references to Donald Trump in the latest batch of the Epstein files. So I like this reply. Somebody said to me when I posted this out there from the New York Times, there's more mentions of Trump in the Epstein files than Jesus in the Bible. There's around 900 to over 1,200 times in the New Testament they mention Jesus. Like I said, 38,000 references to Donald Trump in the Epstein files. Absolutely incredible. Probably the worst part of these new Epstein files are all of the pages that just say CSAM not scanned. And of course, what that means is it is exactly what you think it is. It is pedophilia. And it's pictures, it's videos, and there's a hell of a lot of it. And so, of course, they can't release that. So it says CSAM not scanned. Absolutely disgusting stuff. This came out the other day, but Ghislaine Maxwell alleged that 29 friends of the notorious sex trafficker Epstein had been protected by the Justice Department by way of secret settlements. Secret settlements. So this might explain why we haven't seen anybody go to prison for the Epstein scandal, is because it looks like the government cut deals with 29 of them, probably including all 10 co-conspirators. Let's go through the basics real quick. So shout out to CoffeeZilla. He posted a video on his Voidzilla channel here going through it. Let's watch it. Then I'll come back and give you a lot more. Here we go.
The FBI just dropped 3.5 million files, and it is incredible. Huge bombshells about some of the most powerful people on the planet. I can't believe they let some of this stuff out. I mean, it is stunning. Honestly, one of the biggest lies we've seen is the idea that the FBI could possibly come to us and say, not only is there not a client list, there was no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. Guys, we're about to see planned blackmail to one of the most powerful people on the planet, and that is Bill Gates. Listen, there's a lot we're going to get to, but we have to start with probably the craziest revelation here, which is Jeffrey Epstein emailing himself about Bill Gates. Now, if you don't know, Bill Gates and Epstein had a relationship post-2008. That's a big year. You're going to hear a lot today, because 2008 was the time that Epstein pled guilty for soliciting of somebody under the age of 18. He was a predator at this point. Everybody knew it. Now, eventually, Bill Gates would get divorced when all of this came out. Melinda Gates said it was part of the direct cause for the divorce. She said she met Epstein and said he was evil.
He was evil personified.
So you have to understand, this is like Bill Gates' kryptonite. He's one of the richest men on the planet. He's got this huge philanthropy arm. But this relationship with Epstein has been a huge problem for him. And Epstein appears to have known that, because in 2013, Bill Gates appears to be distancing himself from Jeffrey Epstein. And Epstein seems to have a problem with that. He says, I assume the dedication to our relation went both ways. Larry has now asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement. Basically, he's got to shut up about his relationship with Bill Gates. And this is where the blackmail starts, and it comes in the form of like, if I were you, I would do X if I were the type of guy that you should be. He says, in that regard, I suggest I buy you the house that you had your heart set on. In addition to 5 years of severance, we'll buy you out of the investment contract we agreed upon, 30 to 40% of an $100 million partnership for $30 million in today's terms. That's what I would have done had I been in your shoes. Then he lays out what he has on Bill Gates, or what he says he has. Quote, to add insult to injury, you subsequently, with tears in your eyes, implore me to delete the emails I had regarding your STD. your request that I provide you antibiotics that you could surreptitiously give to Melinda in the description of your I mean, this is insane. It's completely insane. It's like basically laying out in text form, I would give me millions of dollars, and I can't believe you're asking me to delete the message where you were going to give STD medication to your wife without her knowledge. I mean, it's complete. It's crazy. It's just completely obvious what he's doing here. It's just a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Here's what you should do. But now that coming out after Epstein's death, this looks really bad for Gates, obviously, because you usually wouldn't blackmail somebody for something that's completely false or fake. I mean, maybe he did that. But we also know Bill Gates had affairs. Obviously, Melinda credits it for their divorce. So it's hard to believe there was nothing sketchy going on. Bill Gates, of course, maintains that it was completely above board. He says the fact this allegation was in here just shows how much Epstein was willing to defame people. But Epstein lays it out. He says he helped Bill get drugs in order to deal with the consequences of sex with Russian girls, facilitating his illicit trysts with married women, and to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tournaments. Look, guys, this is exactly what we suspected the whole time. Epstein was providing services to rich people and expecting payment via blackmail. Now you might say, and it's true, that we don't know that Epstein ultimately sent that version of an email to Gates. All we know is he sent that to himself. He may have planned the blackmail and just been drafting something. But what we do know are two things. The Wall Street Journal has reported that Gates was threatened by Epstein over an affair. We also know that after this blackmail email Jeffrey sent to himself was written, eventually Gates sent a $2 million donation to MIT directed by Jeffrey Epstein, which is a bit weird if you had distanced yourself from the guy and y'all had this big falling out.
So he probably did the threatening in person. Like he did like a rough draft and typed out his thoughts on it. Then he did the threatening in person, and then Gates gave him money. Oh my God, man. This stuff is so crazy.
Now again, do we know for sure that Bill Gates did all of that? No, of course we don't. But do I think Bill Gates was innocently looking for charity advice from a after he already pled guilty? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not that gullible. And speaking of not that gullible, we've been lied to also by another richest guy on the planet. Geez, it's a shock why they don't want to put this out. Elon Musk, who has been saying for years that it is a lie that he went to Epstein's island. In fact, he says he refused to go. From Elon, he says, Epstein tried to get me to go to his island. I refused. He says, anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Later responding to another headline, which said Elon Musk planned a trip to Epstein's private island. And he says, this is false. But of course, we start to dig through the files and we can see on Epstein.
Dog, you're caught in black and white, bro. Stop trying to weasel your way out of it. We've all seen the emails now. He literally was like, can I please come to your wildest party? I would really like to cut loose. I would.
Yeah, again, so Bill Gates, Musk definites, Trump definites, you know what I mean? We kind of, the lid's blown on it all, but again, we kind of, well, a lot of us knew this that was going on. I mean, as I said, I think David Icke's been telling you this crack for fucking 25 years, what was really going on. But David Icke's a bit of a, I mean, he made a fool of himself on telly with Terry Wogan in a shell suit back in the day. People don't forget, although he did go back on Terry Wogan later on in life and absolutely destroy Terry Wogan, really, but it's not made as big a deal of as the time he went on with the shell suit. So, but yeah, again, you've got to credit where it's due, and David Icke's literally been telling you the extent of this paedophile ring for 2 decades, that it really is real bad. Like, you're talking murder, sacrifice, torture, fucking rape. You're talking the worst of the worst here, right to the top. Yeah, again, the Musk trying to. I mean, everybody's trying to deny it. Obviously, do you know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. I mean, you've got to realize that people can lie. Yet again, here, let's remember people can lie, and they're probably going to lie about this particular affair. So Bill Gates has lied. Elon Musk has lied. Both of them have been caught in the lie. Trump's lied. Trump's been caught in the lie. Everybody that's lied has been caught in the lie. So, yeah, it's Zorro mentioned as well. He had a ranch in Mexico called Zorro Ranch. He had a place in New York. He had Epstein Island. And Donald Trump is running around shouting he'd never been to Epstein Island. Well, that could be slightly true, because this has happened all over the shop, in California, in Florida, in apparently ranches in Mexico, in New York. This has happened everywhere, you know what I mean? So Trump could be telling the truth. He never actually went to Epstein Island, but he's absolutely massively involved in this. No questions asked here, you know what I mean? Multiple people, I mean, threatening to kill people as well, a young girl who wouldn't if she said anything to anybody, apparently he hit a lass over the head because she wouldn't give him a blowjob without a Johnny. All sorts has been said here, absolutely all sorts. And again, when you know who these people really are, again, you've got to wrap your head around when somebody goes on TV and pretends to be nice. That doesn't mean that they are nice. That's them on TV pretending to be nice. So these people are actually the evil, most sickest people in the world. They really are, and these emails have kind of proved it. You've got them talking of the Goyim, again, kind of like the Muslims, that if you're not a Muslim, then you're a lesser being. Same with the Jews. If you're not a Jew, you're a lesser being. They call it the Goyim. That's been mentioned as well by Epstein. So everything's in here, to be honest. Everything is in here.
What a loser. Oh my God. And a criminal.
That's what I'm here to do. And then Jeffrey Epstein writes, understood, I will see you on St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make your ex-wife uncomfortable. I can't believe these guys are lying to us, and people are swallowing it still, thinking that Elon Musk had nothing to do with this guy.
By the way, I cannot wait for Joe Rogan to completely and utterly avoid this like the plague, or try to spin it, or have Elon Musk to do damage control. Because those are the options. We know he's not just going to cut Elon off and start telling the truth. We know that's not going to happen. In fact, we're going to go through all these different Epstein files. You'll never guess which one email Joe Rogan found.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before in a previous video. Fuck this left and right crack. Like, that's out of the window here. There is no left and right at their level. That's something that they play on us, divide, rule, conquer. But they're all sick, satanic, fucking weirdo paedophiles. I don't give a fuck if you're left or right wing. We need rid of the fucking lot of these people. The left and the right wing's out of the window here. We're talking some serious fucking horrible crimes. And I don't give a fuck what your political fucking persuasion is here. We need fucking all of these people gotten rid of. You know what I mean? Again, these are the people that run the world. And you wonder why the world's a fucking mess, because you're letting fucking satanic, twisted, fucking torturous, murderous paedophiles run the world here, and the proof's out. You know what I mean? The proof's now out. So yeah, no wonder everything's fucked.
The one about Bill Gates. Shockingly, missed all the ones about Trump, missed all the ones about Elon, missed all the ones about the Republicans, only found the Bill Gates one. What a hack. What a hack he is.
That's 2012. That's 2014. But guess what? There's another time in 2013. I mean, this seems like a yearly thing with the boys. Here, once again, Elon Musk writes, we'll be in the BVI St. Bart's area over the holidays. Again, is there a good time to visit? Jeffrey Epstein, any day, 1st of the 8th, play it by ear if you want, always space for you. They then plan some more, and you might think, well, if Elon ever told the truth, this is when he has to reject, right? Because he said, I refused. But actually, it appears to be one of those cases where, like, your friend says, like, oh, bro, I dumped her. And actually, it was the other way. Yeah, it turns out Elon didn't dump the dumped Elon. He says, bad news. Unfortunately, my schedule will keep me in New York. Hopefully, we can schedule another time in the future. Jeffrey Epstein let Elon down. That's actually the real story. Is the reason he didn't go in 2013 was because he couldn't go. Jeffrey Epstein was not there. Guys, I mean, how blatant do they have to make it before we start to just see through it, right? When they issue these ridiculous denials, they're totally associated with the guy after the guilty plea. They lie through their teeth, but they can't even keep their story straight. I mean, that's what's crazy. They're not even competent at this. They get caught in their own lies all the time. Remember, the FBI's official story was they didn't blackmail. Well, before we even had these files, Howard Lutnick was on the record calling Jeffrey Epstein the greatest blackmailer ever.
So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
no, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Interesting. Okay, so Howard has a different perspective. Now, if you don't know, that guy, do you think he's just telling the truth there? Even this guy who's contradicting the official narrative, this guy literally lived next to Jeffrey Epstein. This guy who's like, I'm going to tell the truth. Those guys participated. That guy lives next to Jeffrey Epstein. And by the way, he lied too. I love this video we're about to get into because this guy, Mr. He's the greatest blackmailer ever, does he know something we don't know? Because it's interesting, Mr. I'm his neighbor had to also explain how he had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And he lays it out pretty simply. He goes, yep, I lived next to him, but in 2005, I had such a horrible experience that I knew I could never talk to him again.
He was your neighbor for 10 years. How well did you know him?
We move in 2005, okay? Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 08, I think, or something like that.
Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. And there's a massage table in the middle of the room. Massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me. And he says, and the right kind of massage. Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
Well, he couldn't be more clear, could he, right? He says, hey, I may have been his next door neighbor, but I met him once before the 2008 guilty plea. Remember I said that was a big deal? And we got invited over, and it was 5 seconds, and we left, and we realized he was a creep. We were out of there. He made this rude, lewd comment in front of my wife. I would never go see this guy. I mean, he makes it super clear he's gross.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
These other guys, they may have participated.
They participated.
But Howard Lutnick, he could never. No. He's too good of a guy. Well, guess what we found in the all emails? Looky. It's Howard Lutnick writing in to Jeffy Boy in 2012. Hi, Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early afternoon, planning to head over. Where are you located? What's the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? Is this the guy you said made a lewd comment to your wife and, I could never be in front of him? He's gross. Guess what the next email is? My boy's wife messaging in, saying we're headed towards you in St. Thomas. Later, the subject line, Jeffrey Epstein. Good morning, Howard. Jeffrey wished me to pass you along. Nice seeing you. They clearly met, and the guy is just lying about it to your face, to the American public's face, and they...
Yeah, everybody's like everybody, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, everybody is lying about this. Absolutely everybody is lying about it. So, yeah, they're all sick, satanic fucking pedophiles. That's like we said, you know what I mean? Like we said. So, a good video here from Secular Talk. Everybody's on this, by the way. I mean, if you haven't, again, I keep making these videos, but you should kind of be following everybody else, because there's a lot going on here, and the amount of channels covering this crack is unreal, to be honest. And yeah, there's a lot. Was Epstein this New Mexico serial killer? The 16-year-old names in diary about Epstein abuse. So yeah, it's again, and everybody's trying to. You're kind of seeing as well. It's like you mentioned Joe Rogan there. And maybe even Alex Jones as well down here. He's fucking trying to claim that Trump's not in them and stuff. So you kind of see who's in on the game as well, with who's kind of trying to defend people and not tell the truth. Because yeah, there's a lot been said here that ultimately, well, everything that's got an email between Epstein and these people, you bang the right, you know what I mean? And then half of the accusations of these children, well, at least half of them are gospel as well, because of the naming names before people even knew the names. So every single one of them's guilty as fuck here, to be honest. And I just hope people keep push. I mean, as well, we haven't even had probably the worst stuff. The worst stuff still to come. That's what they haven't given us and redacted. And again, he mentioned earlier in this video, I think, they've been redacting people's names that are not victims. They've been redacting people's names who are guilty. And yeah, that speaks for itself as well. Removing names of the guilty. So, yeah, again, what's in the remaining files will absolutely blow everybody's mind. If this hasn't blown your mind, or the general public, it kind of should have. What's remaining is the worst of the worst, it would seem, and this is all real bad. So, we'll play a bit more. Again, there's cracks with the Island Boys. I don't know if anybody heard the song "The Island Boys" by the two young lads. Apparently, they were Epstein Island Boys, and there's a lot of proof for that as well. I'll move on to another video, God Rules, before the end of it, and just show you that as well. And Biden, people wearing masks. Biden again. the world you live in, the world that people really live in, and the world that people think they live in is absolute world apart. But that the veil is coming down here, it would seem. The veil is coming down, so we'll play a little bit more, see what else we've got in here of insane Epstein file accusations here. Hold on.
They tried to hide it from us. I cannot emphasize this enough. They're lying through their teeth. You think this guy perfectly remembers a 2005, like walking in the guy's house? I remember exactly what I said to him. My wife and I looked at each other, and he wouldn't remember the 2012. I boated over to his private island for a dinner. Is that what we're really thinking? Is that what we're expected to believe? This is a momentary lapse in his judgment. No, these guys don't even care about being consistent. And they're all throwing each other under the bus. Don't you remember Elon Musk saying, the time to drop the really big bomb? Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they haven't been made public. My guy, you also are in the Epstein files, very clearly doing stuff you lied about, okay? So is Howard Lutnick, who says, yeah, Bill Gates, he's probably getting blackmailed because he participated. What did you do on the island over in 2012, Howard? Do we know that? I mean, does anyone care? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is some of the most explosive stuff. It's also, again, I have to say, unverified, okay? This is the NTOC, the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. And the challenge with confirming some of this is that these are anonymous tips, or they black them out at least, so we don't know who they are, and anyone can drop a tip. Now, that doesn't mean that you should disregard them. It just means we can't verify them. The other challenge is that the FBI has a heavy incentive to discredit anything with Donald Trump in it, just because he's in the White House right now, obviously. And so I want to be clear, there are notes related to some of these submissions where they say things like complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate redacted. You know, it's hard to tell how much this is the proper due diligence of the FBI, which they should be doing, of course, and not all complaints are credible. But also there's this obvious conflict of interest with the fact that the sitting president is in some of these complaints. But here they are for what it's worth. Complaint summary. Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump.
This is the Katie Johnson one. Katie Johnson told her whole story, and it's on video, her testimony. We covered it, the entire thing, and reacted to it. And I think this is the exact same allegation.
The friend also said she was abused by Epstein. Later, there's very explosive claims about big parties with her, other younger girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. There's claims third hand about a female victim of Epstein's who wants to publish a book citing Leslie Wexner, Epstein, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. And it goes on like this for a while. Some of the complaints are just like very graphic, and obviously I'm going to censor out some of it. But I should also mention the DOJ claims that some of these claims were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had any shred of credibility, they would have certainly been weaponized against President Trump already.
The Katie Johnson one was not from 2020. The Katie Johnson one was from a long time ago. And allegedly the only reason she dropped that lawsuit, which was against both Epstein and Trump, is because of threats.
I agree that if a complaint is timed right before an election, there definitely could be some other motivations to that. But it's also ridiculous to say that anything in the Epstein files, if it were true, would have come out already. Because why didn't we see the stuff about Bill Gates, for example? I mean, that stuff apparently has been sitting in here for a long time. And not only did no one talk about it, the FBI literally covered for it. I mean, they said that this was not the case. There are big claims against a lot of powerful people. Nobody in that file really wants to rock the boat or release the files because then they get in trouble and their buddies get in trouble. And that's a huge problem. So I don't really buy the idea that, if it were true, it would have already gotten out. I don't buy that. That's why we need transparency. That's why it's important these files are out. But this is just to look at a small fraction of the files. And over the next few weeks, we're going to go through all of the major findings we can from this 3.5 million page document dump. But seriously.
Yeah, so Secular Talks, the name of the channel. I'm not sure what this guy's channel is. Voidzilla. He's the guy talking. We're 2 channels deep again here. So Voidzilla is the guy who's speaking in the middle, and this channel Secular Talk. I mean, everybody's on this. Asmongold's covering it fully. Everybody is. Anybody should be covering it as well, to be honest, because this is big news. This is the global elite's downfall. I mean, this is ultimately how you can kind of stop the New World Order. The people realise that Satanists run the show here. It's probably not the best idea. But the other side of this is these people can make big moves, wars and economic collapses, and sweep all this under the rug because people will be too busy dealing with the shit show, which is probably what's going to happen by the looks of it. There's no way. They've released these on purpose, and it's probably just keeping us all distracted as it is, looking at all this. Well, the days tick by here. I mean, we've had over a week of these and stuff's still coming out. Again, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. People are predicting it could be the start of the downfall in a way again. And I don't know. We're waiting the summer, really. I surmise, but it could be the start of the downfall. But yeah, Super Bowl tomorrow. Keep an eye on that. So, and the other thing is Iran. Again, are we waiting on America to blow the shit out of Iran, which could escalate things as well? Well, we'll keep an eye on it. So, again, I mean, we're only 17 minutes into this video, and this video's an hour and 7 minutes long. So, the amount of stuff, again, in these Epstein files is unreal here. Let's have a listen and see what this, what's this one about? My schedule today is a bit crappy. Who have we got here for who's this to and from? I mean, there's even talk of like human cloning in here as well. Epstein getting people pregnant and taking the children, and fuck me, it's honest to God, it's real bad. It's real bad. I can't cover it all. That's what I mean. You need to go and watch all these people's channels. Like the amount of information coming out here is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Did you torture her? Did you torture her? And here's the email right here. If you'd like to, you can pause the video and you can see it. Did you torture her? Is what he said. So as I said, going through these files, what became clear to me is that we're not only dealing with a cabal of pedophile billionaire elites who run the world, but many of these people, again, as you'll see, there's reason to believe they're into bestiality, they're into torture, they're into cannibalism, and this extreme wealth that they have, it has rotted their soul and totally blurred the lines between right and wrong, where they act like absolute monsters and animals and dehumanize everybody around them. And there's a lesson in that. There's a lesson in that about billionaires. We shouldn't have any billionaires because apparently they morph into demons when they hit that line of extreme wealth. All right, more. We literally have emails from victims of Epstein stating, quote, the Epstein trafficking ring is still running and being funded today. So you can see it here. Highlighted in yellow because she was and still is a long-term employee of the Epstein trafficking ring that is still running and being funded today. So this might be another reason why we haven't seen arrests, we haven't seen cases, we haven't seen convictions.
Yeah, it's still running today. Of course it is, because these people are still as sick as they were. This is what they get up to. It's also part of the blackmailing to keep control. And at the highest levels, they kind of like this, you know what I mean? And again, we're getting into the Satanism area of events here. And again, they do it ritualistically and to their god. So it's a lot deeper than just a sex trafficking ring, to be honest. It's a bit deeper than that. So, yeah, it's still definitely going on today, and again, this hasn't stopped. This really hasn't stopped, and they'll use other like the grooming gangs in England, as I mentioned before. They'll use lower level networks to get girls as well. So again, there was big talk of like when Russia collapsed and the Eastern Bloc, they were stealing children left, right, and centre. I mean, you got the whole Erica Kirk thing in Romania, which links into the army, which links into Donald Trump. So basically, the Ghislaine Maxwell is like the head woman here, and then you've got women below that, like Erica Kirk and various other women, who also get girls and get children for them and acquire girls. So you've got this massive ring operating here. It's unbelievable the size of this ring. And again, Epstein's gone down here apparently, but there's proof he's kind of alive. Yeah, but this carries on because Epstein isn't the be all and end all of all this. They're all in on it. I think that's what we're trying to tell you here. You know what I mean? They're all in on it, and it isn't just Epstein. It goes a lot deeper than that. If we could see emails between all these other people and each other and take Epstein out of the equation, all this is still very much going on. So I'll leave it here on this channel, Secular Talk. We're going to just nip over to God Rules. Again, there's kind of a thing with Biden that's kind of undeniable, to be honest. very interesting. The world's a stage, as we've said before. So we'll just nip over to God Rules and have a look at something else here. Hold on. So we're just on God Rules here, and here is the Island Boys. I can't remember the name of the. They're kind of known as the Island Boys. That there's a picture of them down here. They became a bit of a rap group at some point. People will probably know what I'm talking about when they see them in a moment. So again, they had a song. We are the Island Boys. We are the Island Boys. I think the song kind of went. And here is maybe proof that they are Epstein. I mean, he looks like Epstein, the one on the right here. Is he possibly one of his fucking children that he's fathered and took off somebody here? I do not know. It's a possibility. But, yeah, two young lads here with Epstein, a convicted paedophile. And here's them sort of growing up and then thinking that these lads, the Island Boys. So, and again, they had a big song singing "We Are the Island Boys" was kind of the crack. So, again, probably right to be honest, but I don't know. But this is being said as well. This has been said for a while, to be honest. This isn't new. This doesn't come out of these Epstein files. I heard this a long time ago, to be honest. And again, the fact that they're singing "We Are the Island Boys" was kind of the connection here. So, yeah, this is the crack where these two lads, Epstein Island Boys, which probably they were, but I mean, I think he looks like Epstein, the one on the right here. Are they possibly children of Epstein here? Illegitimate children, or children he's fathered with some of these young girls that he's fucking kidnapped? Again, this has been literally said that we know of one lass who's had two children, two Epstein, and had them taken off her. Well, two children here. There you go. One has brown hair though, one has blonde. I mean, this one on the right looks like him to me. He's an absolute fucking spitting image of him. The one on the left, maybe not so much, but the one on the left looks like he's not really happy as well. Like, is he being abused? And in that child's mind's terror and fear, it kind of looks like that off his picture. You know what I mean? But this one on the right here, it's a spitting image of Epstein for me. That like, so. Yeah, the Island Boys, the Epstein's children is kind of the crack. Let's have a look at this.
It does look a lot like them. Oh my goodness. Is that them? It does look a lot like them, man. I could see it. I mean, it really does look like that. So I'm curious about this. A lot of people are saying that it is them. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see what this says. Okay, it does look legit, my friends. I think it is legit that it is them because apparently they're admitting to it. They're admitting to it in this video. Check this out. Let me play this video.
You want to come catch me on Epstein's Island?
What?
Epstein's Island?
What's that?
You didn't hear about Epstein's Island? No? You don't want to catch me there?
I mean, I would like to know what it is before.
So, me and my brother, we was basically brought up on Epstein's Island. And that's why we have so much wealth, because we literally, like no cap. I'm being for real. And that's where the whole island boy thing came out.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's from the horse's mouth, if you want, saying he was brought up on Epstein's Island. They have a song. Here is the picture of the music video. The song is on YouTube if you want to go and listen to it. The Island Boys, We Are the Island Boys is the song. I'll maybe play a bit of it in a sec. Again, we've got a picture here. That again kind of looks like them growing up. We've seen a few pictures of them growing up there. This one here, as I've mentioned, fuck me, it's a spitting image of Epstein, probably one of his kids, to be honest. Again, we've got this report of this girl who had three pregnancies, a miscarriage, and two children, and well, she was about to give birth to the third one. She'd had the second one taken off her, and fully expected the third one to be taken as well. So, are these the children? We do not know, but it's very suspicious. Again, these people are claiming that they were brought up on Epstein Island. He actually said that, you heard it. I'll go and just find the music video a second, hold on. So, I'm an island boy. as you can see there. I won't play the video because the music will probably copyright us. But they were called the Island Boys as well. There's another song that they've done called Jet, 1.4 million views. 25 million views on I Am an Island Boy. Singing in a pool there. So, yeah, they're literally called the Island Boys. They had the big song was I Am an Island Boy. They are claiming, even you've heard it yourself there, they're claiming they are Epstein, brought up on Epstein's island. We've got pictures of children here who look a bit like them, one who looks the spitting image of Epstein. So are they even possibly Epstein's children? So the plot thickens every day. This isn't a new thing, as I've mentioned there. This has kind of been known a while, to be honest, but I just thought I'd give it a mention if anybody else didn't know the crack. Yeah, so I'll move on, last but not least. But Joe Biden, like, here we go. So what do you like to do? Advert of shit, as usual. Hold on. So, just last but not least, this isn't to do with Epstein, really. This is to do with the world being a stage, Joe Biden not being Joe Biden, to be honest, and somebody wearing a mask. And again, I've seen YouTube shorts and videos of people with these like latex masks, and they look real good now in 2026. When a lot of people have got them on, it's very, very difficult to tell it's a mask, to be honest. They really are good, these latex masks. So they're being used at the highest levels here. Like they're literally about to witness Joe Biden isn't Joe Biden, it's somebody in a mask. So yeah, again, this is like what goes on. Like, people will struggle to believe the real world because the real world is crazy, as it says here. This is crazy. The mask was real. So let's have a look at this and Joe Biden wearing a mask. Well, not Joe Biden wearing a mask.
Film there. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. And you have here now, this has been going viral as well. I've seen numerous people posting about this. Epstein, of course, files claiming that Biden is not exactly Biden, but an imposter, apparently. And you can see it on this Getty image. I mean, you literally can see it. Look at this. And what is that? Does your skin get square like that? I don't think so. It might not be real. Might be not real, as you can tell there, right? So, and there's actually I've seen numerous videos and pictures. There's another one where his mask was literally falling off and he just pushed it back on. So let's see this email here. Let's check out what it says. Maritime. Okay, what is this saying? Biden is not your current president. The mass malfunctions on Biden are getting worse. What is this from? This isn't from the emails. He says here, okay, so it's from the files, though. Let's see if we can find this. They're saying it's from the files. The dude playing Biden is not Biden. Ain't Biden. B-I-D-A-N. Okay, let's go see if that word is even in the files. He said it was in the files. Let's go see if it is, actually. I can pull it up real quick. Check her out. So if you want to see for good, or see, let's just try this right here. Biden. Spelling it incorrectly. Yeah, it is here. Oh my goodness, it's real. Biden. I spelled it wrong. B-I-D-A-N. Okay, here we go. What the hell? This is in the files. Biden is not your current president. The mass malfunctions on Biden are getting worse each day on purpose. This will end badly for who is posting with a fucking clone on Facebook. You remember? Okay, actually, maybe you don't know. You don't remember. In my other video, if you didn't watch my other video, there is actual emails about cloning. Do I have it here? I have it in another spot. Let me go pull that up real quick. Where is that at? Yeah, well, this is the one. This is related. Yeah, here it is. They were talking about it, I think, back in 2018. Now, this is not it, though. But there is some... there's a 2018 email where Jeffrey's talking about cloning and saying that they're going to have the technology soon.
Yeah, I mean, and they'll be cloning everything. Anything we've got DNA for, they'll be cloning it. Anything, like anything at all. I mean, even possibly mummies that were mummified back in Egypt. Anything we've got DNA for, possibly even what you would call dinosaurs, dragons, will be recreated by these people if they've got the DNA for it. They definitely will, including humans. Human cloning will have been going on a while here.
And so it would actually make sense, perhaps, that that's what's going on there. I don't know. Or is it just somebody that looks like them, they put a mask on or whatever? Who knows, right? But this is actually part of the files. It's right here. So what the heck? The dude playing Biden ain't Biden. Real Biden. It was an evil, sick, angry man who... Okay, this is really, really effed up. Okay. So you got that right there. That's in the files. I mean, okay, there it is. I mean, we don't know what the veracity of everything in these files are, obviously, but there was a video I showed over on the live stream. Our live stream went viral, actually, and it's on my friend's channel. He has a small channel. He only has like 13,000 subs. He usually only gets like 1,000 views a video, and it's already got almost 17,000 views, I think, over there, maybe more on his channel. We did a live stream last night. And, okay, here's another one, apparently. What is this one? Okay, so what are they saying on this one? Are they saying he's too tall or something? What's going on here? Let's back this up so it's viewable. 15, 5, 6. Oh, okay, maybe the height isn't correct or something. His body ratios are not correct. Where's the mass malfunction? Okay, so that's just some guy's video. All right. Oh, yeah, here we go.
On behalf of a grateful nation, I want to thank you and your families for your work and your sacrifices.
Okay, now we're gonna be doing this now, eh? What's going on here? Joe Biden, Robert Ware, Jeremy. They definitely, the old one definitely looks a lot different than the current ones. His eyebrows are way different. This one kind of looks similar to that one, but not exactly. This looks way different. Damn, these two look. They're all way different looking. They don't look the same at the eye level. And I saw some video where his mask was literally slipping. What's this one?
And he was a very conservative guy who was very...
Oh, that's just itching his face. There was one where he's walking. Oh, no. Is this it? Yeah, this is it here. I got it. Here it is. This one shows it really badly. You can see it very obviously in this one. You see that? It starts to fall off. And then he tries to put it back on and it even flips his ear up.
Yeah, the world's a stage. Again, these latex masks, again, you can see, like, literally, like, YouTubers putting them on, and they're absolutely brilliant, to be honest. It's very, very difficult to tell they're a mask with some of them, especially if they're tight-fitting. It's all about them being tight-fitting. Again, this was called kind of all in Mission Impossible, like 20 years ago, that we could create masks, latex masks. So that's nothing new either. Just I don't think people have truly grasped what's being played on them on the world stage here, and that people are wearing masks and everyone's a fucking satanic paedophile, and it's fucking the whole world's fell to bits in fuck knows how long. Hasn't took long at all. The whole world's fell to bits, and everything you thought you knew was wrong. So that's what's happened now. Yeah, it's all gone to shit. It's all gone to shit. Kind of predicted it, to be honest. Kind of predicted it. So I'll leave it there. There's multiple again. Like fucking the amount of people covering this Epstein crack's unreal, and there's some real good stuff being put out there. Demonic Epstein files, the cult of Baal, crazy details. Again, Baal was all about child sacrifice as well, as I've mentioned. Again, this is kind of where the child sacrifice comes in. They're one of their gods. One of their gods likes child sacrifice. We've got True Geordie here. The new Epstein files are so disturbing. The Antichrist is just the story of pt4 or something. The Antichrist, apparently. Don't know. Trump admin gets loudly booed at Winter Olympics because the People, it's leaking out. It's leaking out here. So plenty of channels covering it. Again, I'll cover anything big and massive, but to be honest, there's too much. There's too much. There's too much being coming out here. We've got everything, as I mentioned in here, everything. Murder, sacrifice, rape, fucking torture, you name it, it's in these files. And we haven't had the worst of them yet. So, Christ almighty, what's in the ones we haven't got, and what's been redacted? I'll leave it there anyway. Joe Biden isn't Joe Biden, apparently. I'll just mention this before I go. It's on the E-Times here. There's a photo, again, of a man with a beard in Israel, apparently. Yeah, is Epstein still alive? Pretty much looks like Epstein to me, with a beard. Again, there's kind of good evidence for the man still alive. Somebody took a photo with a drone a long time ago, before he had the beard, and again, we thought he was still alive. Here's another picture, a newer picture. Again, there's things in the files as well, allude to the man's still alive, and again, this kind of, honestly, looks like him, to be honest, looks like him to me. With a beard, he grew a beard and grew his hair long to try and disguise himself, but that probably is Epstein. He probably is still alive. Again, by the looks of all the emails, he was very much the man to know. Again, there's no way he killed himself, because he had everybody in his pocket, everybody, including the Rothschilds, the most powerful family in the entire world. He had no reason, absolutely no reason to kill himself. He had already been convicted of paedophilia, you know what I mean? So he wasn't bothered about that. And he had dirt on everybody, so there's no way he killed himself. The options are they killed him or he's still alive. And again, with these pictures that have surfaced, that one there with the guy with the beard, I would say he's still alive, to be honest. It wouldn't. It's not a far-reaching thing. This guy was very much the man on the scene, you know what I mean? His crack to do with his cell as well. That's all being looked into. Everybody's looking into everything, you know what I mean? We're not... The beauty is that this section of society does not believe what the mainstream media says. So a lot of research and investigations done by a lot of people here, which is brilliant. And together we can get to the truth here, you know what I mean? So, that was E-Times channel. But yeah, pictures are surfacing. Looks like Epstein can still be alive. Again, that would make sense. Why would he wouldn't kill himself. There's no reason to. And he had dirt on everybody, the whole world, all the most powerful people in the world. This fucker had dirt on them. Well, that's how you move mountains and get out of prisons, do you know what I mean? So the options are they killed him or he's still alive, but I'm going with he's still alive after that photo there. There's a couple more as well. There's more photos if you want to come to this channel and watch the video. There's more than that one photo. So Epstein's probably still alive as well. Live there, peace.